Hello,
Good morning,
everybody.
guys, girls. Keith and Rob here with you this morning. College football yesterday. The finals. Number one, Georgia beats Georgia Tech 31-23. They play Alabama next week in the SEC championship game. Alabama just happened to squeak, and I
Oh,
mean
yeah.
squeak, by Auburn.
Auburn. Oh, they opened so many doors in that game to let Alabama have every chance they needed. Fumble the
After
punt.
the after the
Well,
sack, after the sack back to the 32-yard line.
first they kind of stalled out on their drive. They had that one play where they lost a lot of yards, and then they ended up they got some yards back, but they ended up settling for a field goal. What was it, 4th and 4 or something when they kicked the field goal
For who?
for
For
Auburn? Auburn.
yeah, yeah.
So then Bama gets the ball with what, 5.5 minutes left or something?
6 minutes, about 6.5, something like that, and they go three and
Oh
out.
no, maybe it was 7 minutes or something. But then they
They
punt.
go three
Auburn muffs the punt. Alabama gets it and spends pretty much the rest of the game
with the ball
within the last 35 yards. Auburn
and going
fourth
nowhere,
and goal.
going nowhere, just back and forth.
Yeah,
They center the ball back into the 32-yard line. At that
fourth
point,
and goal.
it was fourth and goal. At that point, this is no lie. Auburn had a 99.96% chance of winning this game. That says that Auburn had a 0.04 chance to win the game at that point with a fourth down.
Yeah, I don't. To me, that doesn't
They
seem like
win
an
the ball
accurate
game.
statistic because
Had you went to the pay window then and got a ticket and took a $5 bet on Alabama at that point, some of them do them still, at points of the game. It's $33,000 you would have won.
stop and think about that statistic that you gave as far as the odds of winning. That just doesn't seem right because if Alabama runs 100 plays throwing the ball into the end zone, you don't think that they're going to score at least a few times?
You would think so. But the fact is, I guess they're thinking is this. With the time amount that they had left.
I guess for any one, but I still think it
And the
would be like a
fact is
5% chance
I
or
mean,
something.
yeah, I would have thought it was more than a 0.04%.
Yeah.
But that's what it was put up on the board last night, which is absolutely bonkers. I would have took a $2 bet on that. Yeah, because number one, what's your chances of somebody getting a pass interference call and putting you at the 20? Then that's a little more reasonable. 32-yard line is crazy.
I
That's
know
absolutely
when I
bonkers.
said touchdown Alabama, you thought I was kidding.
I thought you just bullshitting me. Yeah, I really did because I thought there's no way in hell
You
that
said
they can
no,
get that. And then
no.
on top of that, it wasn't like it was. I mean, it was like of all of the goal, he just had this one little area that he had to catch it in. He didn't have a choice. But
You
I
got
don't think
both
the
feet
defender
down.
caught. I don't think the defender touched the ball once.
Yeah.
I don't think he touched it at all. I think it was all Alabama, and that's
Probably
what
the
happened
best
there.
thrown ball Milrose made all year.
Probably is. Tennessee.
He got both feet
Tennessee
down.
beats Vanderbilt.
That was a touchdown in the NFL.
Oh, it would have been. Yeah, that was, and that's the thing. They're saying the kid could still get drafted, which that would be
Stop and think
absolutely
about it,
fine.
Rob. The Auburn fans were probably ready to run on the field.
They had those little bottles.
They were ready to run out in the field.
They had those little bottles of alcohol. They took the caps off of them, and they were ready for fourth down and the ball to hit the ground so they could go ding and take their little sips of their, the little shot bottles of alcohol. Moments after that touchdown, Keith will tell you that men, women, students, all of them
A lot of tears.
Out there crying out there at that stadium at Jordan Hare. It was nuts.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy stuff happens there, and I'm like this.
I told you though, right before that play, I said Auburn or Alabama always finds a way. They always find a way.
And now I'm not sold that they can't beat Georgia. After the way Georgia played at Georgia Tech yesterday, I'm not sold that they couldn't go in there and give them a game.
Georgia played like that when they played Auburn. Georgia almost lost there also, but came out with a win. Their tight end made a big play on a short pass and ran it the rest of the way for a touchdown, if I remember right. And that was when this talk of him being a Heisman candidate started picking up some, was
right
on that play. So, both Alabama and Georgia had close calls there at Auburn.
Oh yeah, and the third is.
But the thing is, Georgia had, they came out and started rolling people right after that game.
And then yesterday, now they both almost tripped up. It's going to be interesting to see how they play 8:00 next Saturday night at the Georgia Dome. Also, Tennessee 48, Vanderbilt 24, FSU, Florida State 24-15. It sounds like they had it in game in hand. No, a pick six last play of the game. Florida gave them all they could handle. The FSU quarterback hurt during the fourth quarter. He got back in and played the rest of the game. I mean, he got pancaked. He was going for a slide, and two guys, one from each side, came in and creamed him. And I mean,
a lot of the rivalry games were close, despite what.
Yeah.
Washington State was another one.
LSU 42, Texas A&M 30, Kentucky 38, Louisville 31.
For a final score in the LSU A&M game? What did I pick for a final score in that LSU? I know I picked it high scoring. I don't think I picked it that high scoring.
You didn't give me a score. You just told me you thought LSU would cover.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's go to the Big Ten. Obviously, the game of the day, Ohio State, Michigan. Michigan wins this ballgame 30-24. I actually think the game was not that close. Ohio State never had to lead.
Yeah, actually, the Alabama-Auburn game ended up being a better game.
Oh, yeah. And so did the Florida State-Florida game. Ohio State never showed life enough to where you thought they were going to win the game. I never thought this team is going to go out here and beat. They showed signs of life, but they never showed signs.
Really.
Yeah, they didn't have a chance. And now I think Ohio State is done. I think Ohio State is cooked.
Well, even Ohio State on that last drive, they got themselves in a spot where they had a chance, but then interception. On a pass rush.
You just did not trust their offense enough.
If Marvin Harrison you set that up pretty good, because you said after those two completions, you said Michigan's got to pressure the quarterback, and they did on that next play, and that's where he threw the interception.
Yeah. And
you predicted he was going to throw an interception before the drive started.
That's the problem with coaches, college, NFL, and high school. Do you think, let me ask you this one, Keith, do you think that the kid Milroe would have had time enough to throw that football had Auburn brought four guys after the quarterback? Do you think he could have stood back there the way he did stand back there if they'd have brought four guys coming after him instead of two?
Oh,
Milroe, when he was back there walking around.
I understand the strategy, though, because they're not going to run.
I understand that too, but what I'm saying is this is what you get.
It seems like you'd still bring a blitzer from somewhere.
Or just straight up four rushers. That way, and even if you want to have somebody at the 10-yard line, be like, okay, if he tries to run, I can at least stop him from scoring. But what I'm saying is, you bring two guys, and I get five on my team to stop those two. He's standing back there. I don't know how many seconds he's back there. It seemed like 10, but I'm sure it was at least 5, 6 seconds. And he wasn't, nobody was even coming close to touching him. I don't think you can afford, with these type of athletes that they've got as receivers, to just leave the quarterback just like, just, almost like you do in the backyard of a game and just say, we'll blitz, you get to 5-second count and then get to blitz and all. Totally different. Totally different. These kids, you give them 5 seconds and they can burn you bad. And to me, that's what happened. Oklahoma State 40, BYU 34. Liberty stays unbeaten, 42-28. They will now play Sun Belt championship game next Friday night, 7 o'clock at Lynchburg at Liberty. JMU 56. They're going to play New Mexico State. New Mexico State. James Madison 56, Coastal Carolina 14. That was a revenge game there. They needed to win it. They'll be playing a championship game.
You like the field and I didn't.
Huh?
You like the field and I don't.
I love that field. Yeah, Darlene actually spoke about it and said, oh, that's a wonderful looking field. And the uniforms. Uniforms, and they were okay. Arizona 59, Arizona State 23. Arizona in line for a great bowl this year. Washington secures the top 4, 24-21 over Washington State. They were tested.
Arizona might actually be the best team in that division or conference.
Might be the best in that conference now. Yeah, they could be. They could be, but they lost. They lost some games early. Yeah, they did. Notre Dame 56, Stanford 23, and that's the way they flew out yesterday. Today, 1 o'clock games. The Bucks at the Colts are playing in a dome. The Colts are 2.5-point favorites. I like the Colts to cover that. Keith, what do you think?
I'll get to that in a second. I see Black and White Sports Channel 34 minutes ago. It says NFL looks even worse. Ian Rappaport buries Bengals. And they got like a little comic like book window by Goodell saying,
by not reporting its injuries. Not reporting its injuries.
Shady. Yeah. So that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
That later. Colts or did you say
Bucks at the Colts are playing in a dome today. The Colts 2.5-point favorites. I think they're going to cover. They're coming off of a bye.
I think the weather will be okay.
In a dome.
Yeah. Yeah. Colts home games this year have been kind of wild affairs. And the Buccaneers
Bucks have hit the skids the last few weeks too. And then the Colts, awful week. You can't you can't make light of it. Anytime you get a whole
decider-die type of game.
Do what?
It could be like a decide-or-die type of game.
It could be, but I like the Colts in this game. I really do.
I think they'll pull it out, but
next we got the Patriots and the Giants. 49 degrees, very cloudy in New York. Patriots are 3-point favorites. I give us 3 up this week. I like your Patriots big. When I say big, touchdown maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
The Giants the last time Giants won 2 games in a row, Clinton was president. I mean,
they actually won a couple Super Bowls since then, Rob.
Yeah, but they haven't won 2 games in a row in a long time. And they have lost to some decent teams. I mean, lost to some not so good teams. Patriots are not a good team. I know they're not a good team. But I trust Mac Jones more than I do Danny DeVito. And I just think that they will find a way to win this game. Tommy DeVito. Again,
I heard they were talking on NFL Network this morning that Washington offered Tommy DeVito more money to go on their practice squad but he wanted to be on Daboll's team. And
Wanted
then
to play for Brian
Patriots
Daboll.
wanted him too, but he
Yeah.
didn't go there either. And so
Yeah.
then the Giants got to play Washington and beat them, and now he gets a chance to beat the Patriots.
So we'll see what happens there. What's up,
Yeah.
hobbyist? Hello, everyone. He says, I like the Patriots in this spot. I really do. I know
I
why.
kind of like them to win, but I'm not going to pick them to win easy or anything.
I say they cover 3. I think they cover 3 points. That's all they were favored by. Steelers and Bengals. Steelers. Hope you had a great Thanksgiving. I did. I had a great Thanksgiving. Yep. And wife sitting here eating some. What is she eating? Bagels? No. Croissants. She got some croissants with jelly and peanut butter and then toasted up and all. So that's what she's eating for lunch, brunch, breakfast, or lunch, whichever one you want to call it. Steelers are 1-point favorites today. 46 degrees in Cincinnati and a 100% chance of rain. It is raining right now in Cincinnati. All that tells me is I like Pittsburgh better in this game because the receivers know where they want to run. I understand the receivers for the Bengals are probably better than the Steelers, but you got to have somebody who can get the ball to you. And I'm not sure Jake Brown is the answer. He might be. But I like Kenny Pickett right here in this game. I think he's worth 1 point. I think he's worth a win. 21-17.
Yeah,
I like the Steelers.
I like the Steelers more better too.
Yeah, more better.
Yeah,
more better.
I was thinking of that commercial with the Haribo gummy bears, where one of the kids voicing, "They're more gooder" or something like that.
More gooder. That's what he said too. That's what Darlene knows what you're talking about.
Yeah.
We both like the Steelers in this game. It should be a real good game. I think it's a CBS early game. It might be a Fox. Let me see. Hold on. I'll find out. But it is a 1 o'clock game. Steelers, Bengals. I want to say, yeah, it's CBS game. It's a CBS game. I'm getting that today. Panthers at the Titans. I get that one on Fox. It's in Tennessee, 53 degrees, 33% chance of rain here in this game. Look, if it rains, all I can say is better chance for the Titans. They can run a football. I don't know why they don't let that kid run 30 times a game and say, "Here you go, it's your game for us." They don't do it though. I don't know why. You got me on that one. I think they're 3.5 point favorites. I don't think they're going to cover that. I like the Panthers. If I got to give away 3.5, I think it's going to be a close game. 23-20. I'll take the Panthers and the 3 and a hook, but I think the Titans win this game. Keith,
I think I understand what you're saying. I kind of agree with you. I don't know. I definitely know it. My threshold might be around 4.5.
5 or 6.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I think I'd give 3.5. So.
Okay. So you take your Titans and give it points.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a tough call though.
Jags and Texans. Maybe the game of the week here, and I don't get it. I don't get this game. 1 o'clock game. It's a 1 o'clock game too, I think. So it'll be a noon game in Texas. Jags are a 1.5 point favorite this week. This may be the game of the week. If Stroud comes out and plays, and the Jags give him time, he could eat them up, and he can make us a 20-point rout. The Jags have proven the last few weeks, though, that they can go after the quarterback and do go after the quarterback. I think they're going to keep him running this week. I realize he's at home. I still like the Jags in this ballgame. I'm going 31-27. I think the Jags cover 1.5 points. Keith.
Yeah, to me, this is going to be one of those games where the Jaguars assert themselves as the best team in that division. And it's going to be like, okay, you have the recent history. You're kind of enticed by that. And then now all of a sudden, I think this is the week where the reality shows up. Texans.
We're gonna rip it out from under you.
Yeah, well, Texans might represent themselves well and show that they're a good team. Jaguars are probably going to show they're a better team.
Yep. Saints and Falcons. This is one that me and Keith go against each other on.
Carr, I think, is practicing stuff, so he's probably going to play.
And I'm taking the Saints here. You're taking the Falcons in this game.
I like the Falcons in this game.
Yeah. Saints are a 1-point favorite.
Well, they are a team. We were talking about home field advantage and what that really means, or at least I was asking the question.
Oh yeah, if you play the Saints at home, that's a big difference.
Falcons are one of those teams that does seem to be playing better football at home.
And so are the Saints, both of them. Yeah. Both of them.
That running back seems to make some plays for him. Robinson, is it?
Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, he seems to be making
Robinson.
some good plays.
And look, trust me, I would not be surprised if one of these teams went 30-20. It could be either way. This could go either way here. Desmond Ridder does start this week. He's coming back, and they're putting him in. I don't necessarily think that helps.
I
don't think
when I look at the Saints offense, there's nothing about it that really makes me feel like that's something that's,
they can be
irresistible, like
right.
irresistible force or anything. They can be contained.
Right. I think their defense is better. That's my opinion.
It is. I guess
I think their defense is better.
The Falcons are going to make a few more plays on offense than they do.
If they're going to have to against that defense, and that's
maybe get the benefit of a turnover or two.
Yeah.
Maybe
maybe a pick six against Ridder. That's what I'm hoping.
Home field, maybe the energy level.
I'm going 24-20. I like the Saints. Have you got a score for us? If you kind of like today,
I gotta say though, this year the Saints are just one of those teams. I just never feel comfortable picking them in games.
Yeah.
I probably underestimate how strong of a team. Not that they're strong, but
right. I understand what you're saying.
My power ranking on them is probably
their offense wouldn't be their offense would be in the bottom 5 in the NFL probably.
Yeah, they probably have a decent. They probably have one another at least the middle of the
top
pack
10
defense.
to 15 in defense. Top 10 to 15.
Yeah, maybe top half somewhere. Yeah.
But is that enough to cover? Is that enough to cover your offensive deficiency?
Right.
We'll see today. I don't get the game myself.
And this could be the coup game.
The what?
It could be the coup game. Coup might be the MVP of this game. The kicker for the Falcons. Coup.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he might knock.
Oh, that's right, the kicker. Yeah,
he might knock like 4 or 5 field goals through.
It could be. It could definitely be a 18-15 game. It could fall that way. I don't know how many times they're gonna get in the red zone, but we'll see about that. Rams Cardinals.
Or a cuckoo game.
A cuckoo game. Yeah.
Fans ought to do that every time he kicks one through.
Yeah, wouldn't that be? Rams Cardinals. They're playing on the worst field.
You're home.
He is home right now.
I'll forward him and see if he comes on.
I'll send him an invite. I know he goes to church most every week.
I'll probably get mine first, but I figured that's probably where he'd be.
Oh, you want to send it to him?
Yeah. It seems like it comes through text form.
Probably work better for you.
Yes,
send him an invite. Rams Cardinals, they're playing on the worst turf in the NFL. And I think it makes a difference. I really do.
I sent it to both of them. I think it's
I just think anytime you play in Arizona and you're playing on that turf, I think it's the biggest home field advantage in football. Just because you see so many people grab their shoes and have 4 other players ready to go. They just don't know what to wear.
The league probably needs to step in and say, if you guys are going to host another Super Bowl, you need to address this.
What do you think when I make that statement, Tim? Rams and Cardinals. I think the Cardinals have the biggest home field advantage just due to the fact nobody knows what kind of shoes to wear on that grass. I mean, we saw, what was it, Super Bowl last year? It was Super Bowl
The
last year.
secret's out on that, Rob. I don't think that's such an advantage anymore.
You don't think so?
Or either that or we don't have any DA equipment managers going, well, what should I do to keep them from slipping? Maybe I should put in a bigger cleat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pre-game warm-ups to kind of help you a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think the Cardinals with the midget and their defense is playing a little bit better. They have beaten teams. They've beaten Dallas this year. The Rams is not Dallas. The Rams, Cooper Kupp, is he out this week? I think he's out.
Who is?
Cooper Kupp.
I guess he probably is, but
I think he's out this week. Yeah, I think he's out. The Rams don't have a lot of weapons other than that. And to me,
besides the wide receiver's name that I can barely pronounce.
Oh, yeah. That is his name. You need Michael.
Do they have a running game of any sort? No.
The Rams are probably my opposite to the Saints. The Saints are a team I think I generally underestimate. The Rams I probably generally overestimate a little bit.
Overestimate them, yeah. And this was a team before the season started that they had them down for 4.5 wins. They're better than that. They really are.
One game, I never forgot it when I went up to Seattle and won that.
I'm taking them today. I did not get to the line for that game. The line came out late in the week because of some injuries and stuff. 24-22 might be because of Cooper Kupp. I don't know. I like your Cards this week. Keith, you took your Cards. You like them by a field goal, or you think it's going to probably be a field goal game?
Well, it was mostly because I think it wasn't just Kupp. I think there's somebody else that was kind of banged up for the Rams as well. So, I mostly because of the injuries, I went with the Cardinals.
Yeah. Tim, do you have enough confidence in your Rams? They're going to win by 7 this week.
No.
How about
by 7?
How about a field goal?
Oh, by field goal? Yeah, I got enough confidence for them to win by a field goal.
Okay, good deal. All right, Browns and Broncos up in Denver, 39 degrees and clear. A bit of a breeze going on right there, and me and Tim agree. We like the Broncos in this game. Keith likes the Browns. Broncos a 2.5 favorite in this game, and I'll tell you real quick why I like the Broncos in this game. 2 reasons. Broncos defense, and I'm not real high on the Browns backup quarterback yet. That's me. I think it's 3 points worth. Tim, couple of signs that the reason you picked the Broncos this week.
Because they're going to put 8 men in the box and try to say, Murray Cooper, go try to beat us.
And Robinson, do you think Robinson with his arm can beat him?
Do I think he'll throw for 250? No.
You don't think so? Okay.
No. Although he'll probably have to.
Let me ask you this. Will he throw more touchdown passes than INTs this week? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say 1 touchdown pass, 2 INTs. That's what I'll say this week.
Okay.
I just kind of decided that the Browns defense would find a way to pull this game out.
You like your Browns defense?
There was a good demonstration I saw this morning where somebody was doing some game film on the Broncos defense and showing how well they show like one thing and then they switch out of it at the snap and then they stunt their inside linemen sometimes. The tackles, they show one linebacker going to like blitz, but then they'll drop him back and somebody else will run in from somewhere else.
It's a complicated defense they play.
And it was confusing and causing a lot of problems for Mahomes when the Chiefs were there,
right
when they were doing that.
What kind of score are you liking this game, Keith? Are you liking it to get high? Or you think it'll be a low scoring game?
Low scoring in terms of not a lot of offense, but there's always that chance that points come as a result of what the defenses do.
Oh,
and
you're right. Fumble recoveries,
turnovers, short
pick
field,
six,
stuff like
block
that.
kicks, all that stuff. Yep.
So, I mean, it might be like a 23-17 type of game, but
And I'm going Broncos 2017. Tim, 2.5, or they go cover 2.5.
I'll say 17-13 Broncos.
Okay. All right. So none of us think they're going to hit a 30 points in this game. I just didn't see it. Bills, Eagles.
Tim, wasn't that so Alabama yesterday?
Yeah. The end of that
It's
game.
like
Yeah,
they always find a way to pull the game out.
me and Keith were sitting there watching it, and it was just, I mean, they just.
And I said touchdown Alabama, and Rob's like, "No, you're shitting me," or something like that. Like,
Yeah. He was like 8 seconds ahead of me, and they hadn't even come to the line. He said, "Touchdown Alabama." I said, "Look, they got 8 guys, but
like I'm not going to fall for that."
That's
shit.
the thing. They had 8 guys inside the 5-yard line. They had
First
one guy.
University falls again.
They had one guy. They had one guy shadowing him, and had 2 guys rushing the passer. 5-on-2 just does not work, and that's why you get 8 seconds to throw the football. I don't care who you are. You can't get somebody. Huh?
Or let the play develop, unlike what Michigan did in the final seconds against Ohio State when they rushed the amount and forced an early throw.
Yeah, you know, and I was watching that with Rob too, and it just so happened, the Ohio State had run those 2 plays where they moved the ball down the field into Michigan.
And then they got to about 35, 40-yard line.
And Rob had said, well, he predicted that there would be an interception on the drive. And it was right before that play, Rob says, they've got to bring a pass rush this time. And they did. It was Here's the interception. I thought, well.
See, that's the thing. Had they brought 4 guys after Milroe, they may not have even gotten into the end zone before he had to throw the football. That's big advantage defense there. If you got your back to the quarterback and he's throwing the football, these guys were in the end zone just running sideways, just doing this kind of stuff, and they were mixing up the defenses where they had no idea where the players were at. Absolute bonkers there.
I'll say that was a nice throw by Milroe.
It was a beautiful throw. It had to be there, and he got it there.
Yeah.
Bills, Eagles in Philly today, 48 degrees, 41% chance of rain, 10-mile-an-hour winds in this game. That's going to play a part in it. We all took the Eagles in this game. The Eagles are 3.5-point favorites. I don't think 3.5 is. I mean, I would give 3.5 in a heartbeat and take this Eagles against the Bills.
Yeah, but every week there's one weird game that happens in the NFL. And this is the game where Buffalo, you're kind of starting to write them off, and they'll come out and win a game like this. I'm not predicting that they will, but I'm just saying.
Are the Bills good enough? Are the Bills good enough to go out there in Philly today and beat this Eagles team?
They're good enough, yes. Will they? No.
I don't even think they're good enough.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a playoff team. See, I right now, I think they go into Pittsburgh. I think Pittsburgh beats them. I just don't think this team is good right now.
Sense, and maybe it's been a week or two.
When does Buffalo go into Pittsburgh? Or when do they play each other?
I don't think they do. I'm just saying I think they could go into Pittsburgh right now. Look, if Cleveland was playing Buffalo this week Cleveland, I would take Cleveland. I would pick Cleveland this game. Even with the back
might not be on either.
Allen is just so out there right now. And they have, you talk about a team that don't have a running game. Good Lord. This is a team that don't have a running game.
Right.
Yeah. They ran, what was it, 2 weeks or last week maybe? It's 18 rushes for 30 yards, something like that. I mean, that is non-existent. That is bad. And the thing is, they are shallow in defense right now. They've lost 3 defensive backs. They are hurting for certain back in the defensive backfield.
If Buffalo misses the playoffs, you think that coach is let go?
Yeah, McDermott's on the hot seat right now.
Yeah,
Oh
he
hell
is.
yeah! I'm already hearing things about them trying to
Yeah,
fire
I
him.
have been a couple weeks now.
Yeah, if they don't make the playoffs, he's done. They gonna have to make the playoffs with that team they got, and their window is shrinking. I mean, hell, Josh Allen's 30 years old now. I mean, you know,
Yeah, the thing is, I don't think Allen ever was as good as what some people were starting to believe.
I'm with you. I'm with you. And I'm gonna tell
And
you something.
I was one of the ones that
you
kind of
guys-
started to concede
you
it
guys are
myself
gonna
at
be-
the end of the year last year.
I'm gonna floor you with a comment. I actually think Justin Herbert is a better quarterback than Allen. I do. Herbert has not had a chance to develop. He has not been given a chance. You know, I'm hearing this garbage about Washington might be able to actually go get him a quarterback.
Well, here's another one that might be a little bit of a stretch.
Sam Howell may end up being an all-pro quarterback.
Let me run this one by you. Justin Fields might be at least as good a quarterback as Josh Allen.
I don't know. He makes so many stupid mistakes, though. He makes
I was like, yeah, well.
Well, let me ask you right now:
Josh Allen
if you can get Josh Allen on the Bears, well, I ask you, how about this? If you ask your dad, if they can get Josh Allen right now, and all they had to do is get rid of Justin Fields and replace him on that Bears team, does he think they'd be better? What do you think your dad would say?
I think he probably would do that. But
yeah, and I would too. How about you,
that's
Tim?
Part of the benefit of not knowing everything, because he doesn't really follow the Bills that much, I don't think. So
how about you,
he
Tim?
might still be
they could be a couple wins better, but not remarkably better.
Dak Prescott.
Justin
Dak
Fields
Prescott
might be
goes
as
to the
good.
Bears. Dak Prescott goes to the Bears as is. Are they 5 wins better? 5 wins. Are they 5 wins better?
No, but they're maybe 3 or 4.
What do you think, Tim? 5 wins better.
No, they're not 5 wins better.
Can any quarterback,
2 or 3 probably, actually.
could any quarterback come out there right now and make them 5 wins better? I do think so. I think there's quarterbacks out there that could make him 5 wins.
A healthy Joe Burrow probably could.
Yeah. Might be about it.
Tua?
Burrow.
I think Tua could too, though. I think Tua might could. Tua gets a lot of flack down in Miami. I understand he's got a lot of weapons, but boy, oh boy, I don't know. That's interesting. It really is.
But I don't think I would insert Josh Allen in there right now. I'd just take my chances with Fields at this point, I think. At least I would look at he might have an upside that could overtake what
Allen. I think Badgett's going to get traded in the offseason because I don't even think front office, they don't like his arm. He's thrown 2 passes 40 yards this year, Keith. And one of the times he was getting knocked over.
His arm isn't as good as some quarterbacks. I mean, but
I think he can throw the ball 50, no problem. 50 is not a problem for him. And I've seen video of him when he was throwing at 65 and 70 in college. So
with someone like him, it's more just not throwing interceptions.
And the fact is, he's playing. I mean, really, the field might be one of the worst 3 in the NFL, along with Philadelphia and where was that we was watching the game at yesterday, and it was just that field was tore to shit. Where was that at? Was that yesterday or was that?
You were talking about a field yesterday.
Yeah. I mean, that field was torn up. I'm like, how in the world?
Was that where Virginia
I
was?
think maybe they had a concert there.
Yeah, you said something about that.
Yeah,
was it Virginia's field?
That field was really bad. It won't a Big Ten game. It won't Ohio State and Michigan.
No, they play on an artificial surface.
Where in the world? Yeah. Was it? It was an early game, I want to say. I forgot who it was.
Where do they have a new projection on the bowl games?
You must be reading my dang mind, because that's what I was just about to look up.
Okay.
So right now, Florida State, even after second quarterback gets hurt, he comes back in the game, finishes them off, beats Florida. They should be a top 4 team now. They should be a top 4 team.
Debatable.
And we'll see. 2:00 this afternoon, it's officially released. But you got to think it's Georgia, Michigan, Washington, and Florida State right now. It should be clear. It shouldn't be any.
Georgia, Oregon. This is from CBS. This is just projections. These are not official.
Right.
They
Georgia,
Michigan, Florida State, and Oregon.
Oregon 4th.
Mm-hmm.
Where's Washington?
They didn't like the way they played, I guess.
They hadn't lost.
Nope.
They beat them. They beat Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. So they're saying Oregon's going to beat Washington next week. That's what's happening.
That's what's happening. Yeah.
That's what's happening. Okay. Because if they beat Oregon next week, there's no way in hell Oregon can be in the top 4. Agreed?
So
And even if Michigan loses, I think they can still get in.
So are they projecting Michigan in the Rose Bowl and Georgia in the Sugar Bowl?
No.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to this one, Keith. Listen to the top 4 projections right now. You won't believe it. Number 1, tell them, Tim.
Number 1's Georgia.
And 2's Michigan. And 3
3.
is... Well, I heard you say something about Oregon. So
4th is Oregon.
3, Florida State.
Is 3 Washington or Michigan?
Is 3 Washington or Florida State, Keith?
I guess Florida State.
Yeah, Washington's left out. So what it is that CBS you looking at, Tim?
So they're looking at Florida State against Michigan in the Rose Bowl?
They are projecting.
They're projecting Oregon to beat Washington next week. That's what's happening.
They got Oregon playing Georgia in the Sugar Bowl?
I don't know which bowl it would be, but they'll be playing each other.
Well, the Rose Bowl and Sugar Bowl, I think, are the playoff bowls.
Yes, they are.
And where's the championship game played?
Championship game will be played in Houston.
Oh, in Houston.
Mm-hmm. Your New Year's 6 games. The rest of them.
Oh, let's see. Hold on.
Would Ohio State get
obviously, let's go by what they're thinking. Washington is one of the New Year's 6 games.
Yep.
They've got to be. Let's see. So Washington would probably be playing Ohio State.
Nope.
Ooh, let's see. Let me think. Washington would probably be, okay. Oklahoma? Texas, I guess. Texas.
Nope.
I was thinking Ohio State and Texas.
Nope.
No, let's see. But first, let's see. Washington against
Ohio State will probably play it.
Washington. Yep. Okay, so we got Washington against Alabama, New Year's 6.
Mm-hmm.
Next, bless you.
Bless you.
Next, I'll say Texas.
Ohio State, Missouri?
Nah, it won't be Texas, Missouri. I'll tell you who Texas.
Oh, I was saying Ohio State, Missouri.
It won't be Texas Ohio State. If it's not Texas Ohio State,
There's always two or three bowls where it's SEC against Big Ten. There's always
Yeah.
a couple. Penn State's probably going to be one of them.
Texas Penn State.
And Iowa.
No.
And Penn State will probably be
All right,
playing
let's see.
SEC.
All right, so if it's not Texas Penn State, then it's got to be SEC. Texas, it's not ACC. Wow, Pac-12 in.
Nope, not a big conference.
Oh,
Liberty?
no, it can't be. Liberty can't get in there. It can't be Notre Dame. They can't be in a Big Six.
Tulane?
What's that?
Tulane.
Mm-hmm.
Is it? Wow.
Texas and Tulane in the Fiesta Bowl is their projection.
Wow. That's crazy shit. And then let's see. The other Big Six game would be Ohio State. Ohio State
playing SEC teams.
Nope. Ohio State will not be playing should not be playing. This is their projection. Will not be playing an SEC team.
No, Penn State and Iowa.
They don't even have Iowa in the New Year's Six.
No.
Oh.
Penn State?
Will be playing who?
Oklahoma.
No,
Nope.
SEC. It's going to be SEC. LSU?
Nope.
Missouri?
Oh, Ole Miss.
Missouri in the Peach Bowl.
Wow. Okay. Missouri. Okay. All right. Wow.
Maybe LSU and Iowa then somewhere.
No.
It's Ohio
LSU.
State and another team.
Ohio State, but not a Southeast Conference team. No. Oklahoma. No Oklahoma.
Arizona?
Nope. Louisville.
Louisville. Wow.
I thought about that and I dismissed it.
Wow.
How about Clemson? Who's Clemson matched up against? Right now?
Clemson's got 4 losses though.
Yeah.
Oh, they just projected the New Year's Six bowls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what are the other ones, or if we already covered them all?
But if Alabama beats Georgia and Oregon beats Washington, who is the top 4? Glenn, that's an excellent point right there. That's an excellent point. They're already got their projection is Oregon wins over Washington. If they beat Washington, they're going in. Washington gets taken out. Now,
And then if Michigan loses to Iowa.
well, let's say Michigan wins. To me, this is just me. This is just me.
Georgia's probably going to get in even if they lose.
This is me talking, and they're not going to agree with me. If Alabama beats Georgia, Oregon beats Washington, these are my top 4. It's not going to be what people like to hear. Georgia, Michigan, Oregon, and Alabama. Florida State, you're out. That's me. If Alabama wins, Alabama's in.
I think Georgia's going to get in.
No, Larry. No way Georgia's out. Georgia
Usually the number 1 team going into this pretty much.
That's what Larry says. If Alabama wins, Alabama's in. No Georgia. No way.
No, normally right now the team that's number 1 is pretty much.
No way. Georgia's in. They've done what they got to do. Georgia's in. They're number 1 team.
Michigan's maybe not locked in, but
Michigan's got to be as close to.
They have to really lay a turd against.
They would have to lose by 20 to Iowa to get knocked out. But I'm with everybody there that agrees about this. Alabama wins. They're in the top 4. They are.
Iowa is projected to play Ole Miss in the Citrus Bowl.
Okay.
And
I don't think you can exclude Georgia at this point since they have not lost and are the 2-year champs. I'm with Glenn all the way.
Don't see Georgia getting knocked
Georgia, unless Georgia would have to stink to join up. they would have to lose as bad as who beat TCU last year? Was it Georgia?
Yeah.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, they would have to lose that kind of game, 63-0 or something. That's the only way they get excluded, and nobody can do that to that team. Nobody
Rob,
can beat
I'll
them.
throw another example. It would have to be like when Ohio State beat Wisconsin in 2014 in the championship game, 59-0.
Yeah.
Oh,
And you don't have to like my pick for Alabama. I can understand why you wouldn't agree with me there. A lot of Texas fans are going to be pissed. But I still say Texas gets beat next week. I think they can get beat. But my God, Oklahoma State, they can lay eggs as good as anybody. And then you got Oklahoma sitting on the sideline. To me, by them not even making their conference championship game, let's do it this way. Alabama wins. Iowa wins. Oklahoma State wins. Oregon wins. I still don't think that opens up Oklahoma to get in there to play because they didn't even make their championship game. That's my opinion. That's totally my opinion. Tim, Oklahoma, with all the upsets, if everyone got an upset, should Oklahoma be in the top 4 after that?
no.
Nah.
I'd consider Arizona before them.
And Arizona's got 2 losses or 3?
2, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think Oklahoma can get consideration.
Or maybe it's 3. Maybe they're
Georgia beat TCU 73-7.
maybe they were 8.
It was high. It was bad. It was
maybe
bad.
They were 8-3 before yesterday. Maybe it's 9-3 for Arizona, 3-9.
Yeah. So
Arizona State, but still.
So 3 losses.
I'm saying I'd consider them over Oklahoma.
Be right back. Yep.
Georgia. Alabama just pulling that game out at the last minute, though, that might cost them a couple votes. If it comes down to weighing them against somebody else. Especially if it was Texas.
So, couple more games real quick. Chiefs Raiders. We all like the Chiefs in that game. 9.5 points. I don't have a problem giving that up.
Nope.
Keith?
Raiders have been really good at home this year, but yeah, I like the Chiefs to bounce back.
Chiefs are going to be pissed too. The only reason I got to go here.
They've got to get off the schneid and actually score a point in the second half.
Yeah.
Ravens Chargers. Ravens tonight. They're 4-point favorites going to LA to play the Chargers. I think this could be blowout city. I like the Ravens big. Tim.
Yep. Ravens. I won't say big, but probably by 2 touchdowns.
I'm saying 21 points. I'm saying 3 touchdowns. Keith.
Well, the Ravens have been making other teams look really ugly. The Chargers have been one of the teams that's been playing really ugly.
They're the ones that's been making they've been making teams look good. Yeah. The Chargers have been making teams look better than they are.
And their coach is definitely fighting for just a little bit of respect, I guess, even though his job is probably not even much of it. There's probably not very good odds he's going to continue as coach next year, I would say, at this point.
Bears and Vikings Monday night. The Vikings are 3.5-point favorites. I like your Vikes in this game. I think the Bears will give them a game, but I think your Vikings are better than. I think 26-20. Keith likes the Bears straight up in this.
Yeah, I just got that feeling I did when they played the Commanders. I think the Bears are gonna play pretty well in this game and win it.
Yeah.
I can't even expect them to win by like a couple scores.
Who, the Bears?
Yeah.
Wow. Do you have any? Do you think they can win by 3.5? The Vikes at home.
It wouldn't shock me if the Vikings won by 3.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they win by 6. So yeah. Gonna go ahead and go visit my parents. I hadn't seen them in a week, so we're gonna go see how they're doing and see how things go. You guys, probably maybe at 7:30 this evening, we might do a kind of a check back with you guys.
Alex is right. If I was the Bears, I would. First of all, they got to decide who their coach is going to be and who they're going to go with.
They got to decide who their quarterback's going to be and their coaches. Yeah.
But then I would take Harrison that was the number 1 overall pick, and then
or
either
a lineman,
a quarterback or an offensive tackle of that next pick.
You got to get some line
first round.
For Tim, for Keith, my name is Rob. Thanks so much for joining us. Well, I appreciate it a lot. Hated to cut the stream short, but life issues and life stuff goes on. You all have a wonderful day.